What is going on, guys? Welcome to another Shedheads video. My name is Chris, and today we are playing some Minecraft for you guys. And in today's video, we are going to be going over villagers in Minecraft and showing you guys how to build your very own villager spawner. Now, villagers, since the villager and pillager update, are very useful. You know, I found a lot of the times it's very difficult to get a lot of emeralds in Minecraft, but since now they made spawning villagers so easy, it's just easy to get a ton of emeralds and to build your beacons out of it. So we're going to be going over the basics and showing you guys just what exactly you need in order to do this. If you guys could do me a favor, drop a like, leave a comment, and let's get right into this video. Alright guys, so to start off this build, you are going to want to build a 17 by 17 block square out of whatever material it is that you find fit. In this video, I'm using stone bricks because I think they look really good. What I've done right there is I have marked out the center so that I know where I'm going to put my water later on. So build up this perimeter, and then you're going to come up and offset in one block and go up. What we're going to want to keep in mind here is if you're doing this in your survival world, it's probably best to build this thing on a mountain of some sort, because we're going to be using water to basically move the villagers away, all the baby villagers, because the way it works is that villagers will keep breeding with each other so as long as their offspring has a bed to sleep in. So you're going to want to make those baby villagers go bye-bye and basically move them to wherever it is you want to be storing these guys so that you could trade with them later on. So next, what we're going to do is we're going to come 4 blocks up from the bottom just so we have a nice solid base going around. And I'm just going to skip ahead so that this is all complete. Alright guys, so now that we have finished the perimeter of our build, we are basically just going to take this top layer and fill it in with some grass so that we can grow our crops. So we're just going to go ahead and start this off. So the way that this is going to work is that we are going to have a water source block go in the very middle of this, and it is going to hydrate every single one of these blocks except for the perimeter, and the perimeter is where we're going to put our beds, so that the villagers can sleep and claim them and then want to keep reproducing. So the way it works is the villagers will only reproduce as long as there is a bed for them, and we're going to put, I think, 8 beds in here, so you could have 8 villagers in here at one time. Now, you're going to want at least one farmer, so be prepared to have a composter so that you can turn one of your villagers into a farmer. Now, what we're going to do is basically just use either carrots or potatoes so that the farmer can feed the rest of the villagers. Before we get into that, we're basically just going to create a roof. And if you want to skip to 5-minute marker into this video, I'll put a little link in the description. This part is optional. You do not have to put a roof on your build, but I would very much recommend it because you don't want to transport your villagers from wherever your village is in your world all the way to your base just to find out that one of them got struck by lightning and was turned into a witch. You definitely do not want that, especially after you've built the entire thing and it's all up and running. So this part is definitely optional, but I strongly recommend you do it. And if you guys have watched any of my other videos, I choose to use fence posts as the main structure of this with some logs on top, just because I think it gives it a little bit of a oriental look to it. I've done a few videos where I did a garden with this type of aesthetic, and it usually comes out pretty good. So we're going to finish off this, and then we're basically just going to put some logs going on top. So while we are doing this, let's talk a little bit about why we would want a spawner like this in our world. I primarily use villagers to trade with for enchantments, and the way you do this is you take a bunch of lecterns, place them all in a row so that all your villagers turn into librarians, and they're very useful for getting 2 enchantments, mending and frostwalker. Mending, what it does is it repairs your tools with experience as you gain it. Instead of gaining levels, you repair all of your tools, which is super awesome if you have a super enchanted tool. And then frostwalker makes it so that you could walk on water, which is also very helpful. It turns the nearby water blocks into ice so that you could walk. We're going to get right back into our tutorial here, guys. We're going to place water in the center, and again, that's going to hydrate all the blocks around it. And then what we're going to do here is take some glass blocks and line the entire perimeter so that our villagers cannot escape. Definitely don't want them getting away. This also will help to keep the mobs from getting in. And as you can see in my other build in the background, I have a staircase leading up to this. This is optional. I'm going to allow you guys to do it if you want. But that is the entire perimeter. We have finished off the entire outside portion. So what we're going to do now is take some beds. We're going to line one side with 4 beds, skip 1 block in between them, starting at the corner. And you're going to want to do the same thing on either side. This is going to allow us to have 8 villagers in here before they stop reproducing with each other. Now, in this video, I set up 4 workstations. I set up 2 composters, a fletching station, and then a lectern. If you want all librarians to start off, do 3 of the librarian lecterns, and then you're going to want 1 composter because you need a farmer to make this work. Otherwise, all the villagers will have nothing to eat, and they will not be happy. So we're going to place our composters basically anywhere in here. I just choose to make it symmetrical in this video. We're going to put 2 of those. We're going to put a lectern on the left over here. And then we're going to finish it up by placing a fletching table. So the next step in this process is to make all the little holes that our villagers are going to spawn into and fall. So what we're going to do is from this center block, we're going to dig out 3 blocks over here, just 1 offset from the beds layer. You're going to build up 2 blocks on one side and put some slabs of whatever your choice is over there. So this is going to make it so that you yourself cannot walk into that if you are an adult, but if you're a little baby, you're only 1 block tall and you can fall in. So you're going to want to do this on both sides that are around your bed, and those 2 are mandatory, but the one in the back leading away from where you're going to want the direction of your villagers to go, this one's optional. You don't have to do this one. It'll just help expedite the process of getting these baby villagers away from their bed so that the villagers can just make more of them. So we have this all finished up. So I'm going to skip ahead here. So we have potatoes growing in our farm. And again, this is only going to hydrate the interior layer of grass here. The perimeter is going to be all grass and it's not going to be hydrated. But if you want to make this 1 block smaller, you can, but I didn't find that I had to. So now we have all of our top and perimeter layers done. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go into the interior of this, and we're going to make it so that the water traps the villagers into going the direction we want. And again, they're going to exit right out of that door over there. So go in the back, and you're going to want to place all, I guess, dirt or whatever block you have an abundance of just for a fill here, and place a sign in the middle with a dirt block just so we stop the flow of water over here. The only reason we have that block in the middle, that water source, is to hydrate all of the dirt around us for planting. It doesn't serve any other purpose, so you can do whatever you want after that. But we're just going to line the entire like L shape over here with some blocks to fill it in, just so we can place our water later on. So just follow what I'm doing in this video, and I'll see you guys in just about 30 seconds. Alright, so just finishing up here, you're going to want to make a little L shape there for your water to go on top. Now you're going to need 9 buckets for this full of water, so just keep that in mind when you're doing this. You're going to place them all on the top. Leave the grass blocks so that the water flows correctly. You can take them away afterwards, or you can let them go. So this is just going to make it so that we have one solid stream, and if I just kind of just fall into here and let the water take me, it's going to lead me right out to this direction. Now, going back to what I said about putting this on some type of mountain, you're going to want to use gravity and water to lure these villagers away from your spawner and to wherever it is that you're going to want to keep them so that you could trade with them later on. Now, I realized I was in a super flat world here, and it only has 3 layers before I hit bedrock, so I basically just show you guys here the way it works. It's pretty self-explanatory. You dig out and you just go away from your spawner. Now, the amount of blocks you're going to want to do this varies. I looked up a few sources and they all kind of say different things, but generally what I did in this video is I went about 75 blocks away from the nearest bed. And that typically seemed to work for me. And if you're doing this on the mountain, it's not really hard to go further away. But again, in this super flat world, I couldn't go any further because then I'd fall out of the map. So there it is, guys. You are all finished with your spawner over here. I'm basically just going to take some spawner eggs and put these in there. This is the hard part for you guys because you're going to have to go into your village and transport them. I think the easiest way to do this is to use a minecart, because once you push them into the minecart, they just go wherever. So as you can see, I spawned those guys in, and 2 of them are villagers. 1 of them is a librarian, and then the other is a Fletcher. They can't escape or anything. They're basically stuck in there. What the farmers are going to do is take a bunch of the potatoes that I have planted, and it's going to feed these villagers, and once they have enough potatoes in their inventory, they're gonna want to breed with each other, and that's just how it works. Another thing, I did a mistake in this video is I put dirt blocks on top of those working stations, but you're gonna want to put slabs just to keep mobs from spawning on top of them, because they can if it is not lit up all the way at night. So skipping ahead here, as you can see, we have a little baby villager in the bottom center of the screen right there. And what he's going to want to do is he's going to claim a bed, one of the 8 that we have in here. You could have more if you want, but I just chose 4 on each side, just as a general rule of thumb. I don't want too many villagers in here. But as you see, we have another one that just fell into our trap. So if we go over to the front after spectating a little bit, we're going to see that this guy is getting slowly but surely pushed away from his bed. And he's going to want to go back as much as possible, but the water's just going to keep pushing him. And it takes 20 minutes for these guys to reach adulthood, and I don't know why there is a sheep in there or how it got in there, but it takes 20 minutes for these guys to reach full adulthood, and then after that you can turn them into whatever type of villager that you want. So again, I recommend you do a librarian because it's the most useful. So let me just show you guys here why the librarian is useful. If I go to this guy, I've already leveled him up to master. It goes novice, apprentice, journeyman, expert, and then master. And then you can get a ton of stuff from this guy, but in particular you get an enchanted book. It is random, so if you're gonna want to have an enchantment for every single type of or have a book for every type of enchantment, it's going to take a long time. But again, mending and frostwalker are something that you can't enchant on your own. You need to get a book in order to do this, or find them in a buried treasure chest somewhere. But also, you see here, he trades 23 paper for emeralds, which is super useful when creating a beacon. And I also have a beacon video, so if you guys want to check that out, I'm going to put it in the end screen later on. But that's all I have for you guys today. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like and leave a comment for us here at the Shedheads. We appreciate all the support we get in our videos. And I'd like to take some time to thank anyone who has watched the video up until this point in its entirety. You guys are doing an awesome job. Keep watching the videos. Keep supporting us. We really do appreciate it. It goes a long way. And I'll see you guys for another Shedheads video. Shedheads out.